Hi, I'm James, 62. I recently retired. I didn't lose my wife like Michael. My kids simply grew up and moved out. And at one point I realized my house, which used to be full of noise, laughter, and hustle, had become too quiet.
There are many of us like this. We are the generation that knew who we were because of work and family. Then, work ended. The children lived their own lives. And here you are, sitting in the kitchen, realizing you are no longer called upon to fix problems. You're not asked for advice.
This isn't just boredom. This is the loneliness epidemic. You start avoiding the phone. You think, I can handle it myself. But isolation is slow, quiet self-destruction. It is the #1 enemy of men over 50.
I spent 6 months in my armchair watching TV. I was paralyzed by routine and the lack of purpose. The scariest thing is feeling irrelevant. I realized to beat loneliness, you shouldn't wait for someone to call. You need to relearn how to live. You need to become the one who seeks connection, not the one who waits for it to be given.
I developed 5 rules that literally dragged me out of that armchair. They're not complicated tips, but an action plan. If you know this quiet dread, here are 5 ways we, men over 50, can beat isolation.
The first enemy of loneliness is a lack of purpose. When I retired, I felt that my skills were no longer needed. I sat and waited to be called upon, but no one called. This is the mistake. You must create your own purpose.
I had an old lathe in my garage that I hadn't used for 20 years. My first thought was, sell the junk. But I remembered how much I loved woodworking when I was young. This was my lesson #1. Return to an old forgotten skill.
I called it the micro project. I decided not just to restore the machine, but to make a wooden toy for my grandson. At first, it was hard and awkward. I forced myself. But within a week, I felt a rush of focus and pride.
The goal isn't the toy, it's the process. You aren't just wasting time, you are creating something of value. This restores your inner identity. It forces you to read, look for parts, and learn. How did this beat loneliness? I started going to the hardware store, not just to shop, but for consultation. I talked to the salesman about types of wood. I showed my neighbor my blueprint. I activated social connections through my goal.
Your move? Remember what you did before you became an adult. Clock repair? Gardening? Music? Start with a small, real project that requires 3 hours a week and 1 trip to a store. You will feel relevant from day 1.
Mistake #2. We become hermits. Men our age either sit at home or follow the route home, store, home. We deprive ourselves of chance encounters which are so vital for the psyche.
I realized I needed a third place. This is neither home nor my old workplace. It's a place where I can show up regularly without having a specific agenda. For me, it became the public library and a small coffee shop by the harbor. The first time, I just sat in the library reading the newspaper. Nothing special. But a week later, I nodded to the man who always reads the sports section. 2 weeks later, we exchanged opinions about the local team. And just like that, a social thread was born. The third place works because it removes the pressure. You haven't arranged a date, and you don't have to talk to anyone. You are simply available for contact. This gives you a chance to train your social muscle. Lesson #2 is find your third place. It could be an antique shop, a vinyl store, a local gym, or even a bench in the park where people play chess. The main thing is consistency. Show up there 3 times a week.
You are not looking for a friend for life on the first day. You are looking for a minor social exchange, a brief greeting, a joke, an exchange of views on the weather. This reminds you that you are part of the world.
It's a tiny but powerful step against isolation.
The third enemy is the wall of independence. Men over 50 are used to us calling to give a task, and others calling us to ask for help. We have forgotten how to call just to share or to invite.
I caught myself thinking, if my former colleague wants to talk to me, he will call me. This was my pride. I didn't want to appear needy or lonely. But this is a trap. You are waiting for a signal that will never come. I gave myself a task, the 3-message rule. Every Monday, I had to send 3 messages to 3 different old acquaintances or friends. Not asking about work, but simply, "How are you? I remember when we..." and suggesting a meeting. It was awkward at first. 2 out of 10 didn't reply, but those who did reply were genuinely happy. They probably felt the same way I did, but they were also awkward about calling first. I realized that initiative is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom.
Lesson number 3. Tear down the "I can do it myself" wall. Pick up the phone right now and invite an old friend for coffee or fishing. Don't wait for them to call. You are the chief manager of your social life. Don't be afraid of being seen as pushy. Most people your age are just as lonely and will be grateful for the contact. You are not asking for help. You are offering companionship. This is the key to overcoming isolation.
The deepest source of isolation is the feeling of irrelevance. After 30 years of work, you lose your professional identity. I was certain that my experience nobody would buy for free. This is the pride that isolates. I went to the local small business aid center where they were looking for mentors. I thought I would just be bored, but I discovered that my logistics experience was vitally necessary for young entrepreneurs. I started advising them on schedules and supply chains. Lesson number 4. Service, legacy, is the best vaccine against loneliness. You aren't just spending time, you are utilizing your accumulated knowledge. This restores your sense of authority and relevance, but without the pressure of a work schedule.
Volunteering isn't just about animal shelters. It can be tutoring in mathematics at a school, repairing broken equipment at a church, or membership on a city planning council.
When you serve, you establish not just social contact, but a meaningful connection. These new people see you not as the retired father, but as an expert and a problem solver. They need your wisdom.
Your move. Ask yourself what your greatest strength is. Are you an accountant? Help a nonprofit organization with taxes. Are you an engineer? Help a school with a science club. Remember, to start again, you must not seek, but give. The 5th enemy of loneliness is spatial confinement. When we stop moving, our world shrinks to the armchair and the screen. I realized that loneliness is a physical state, not just an emotional one. To find people, you need to move towards people.
I couldn't just go to the gym to boredom lift weights. I needed purpose. I stumbled upon a group that regularly went hiking on weekends. This was my lesson number 5. Use movement to create connection.
What united us was not chatter, but a shared task. Reaching the summit, carrying backpacks, helping each other on slippery sections. Action became our language. We didn't ask each other about work. We talked about the trail, nature, and the next plans. Physical movement alongside other people creates a quick bond. Mountain biking, a garden club, team competitions, bowling, or bridge. You become part of a team even if your only common goal is weeding a garden bed.
I'm not talking about marathons. I'm talking about movement with purpose. Get a dog. It will guarantee you talk to other dog owners. Sign up for a dance class or join a club dedicated to maintaining the city park.
Connection with the world starts with your body. Movement generates energy. Energy generates curiosity. Curiosity leads to social interaction. Take a step today not towards the armchair, but towards the door, and the world will follow.
Loneliness won't disappear overnight. It's an illness that must be treated with action, not waiting. It took me 6 months to realize isolation is a choice, and that choice is made by us when we fail to initiate contact.
If you feel irrelevant, start with a micro-project. If you are waiting for a call, make it yourself. If you fear loneliness, go where the people are. If you want to be needed, give away your experience.
We men built cities and careers, but we forgot how to build community for ourselves. We're too proud to say, "I need company." But asking for a meetup is not asking for help. It's an offering of friendship.
The main lesson: our age is not a time for retreating into silence. It is a time for investing our wisdom. Isolation vanishes when you realize you are needed.
My challenge to you, today, right now, choose only one of the 5 lessons. Send one message. Go to your third place for 30 minutes. Or just write down an old skill you will return to.
And the final, most important point. If this story resonated, it means you are not alone. Subscribe to the channel to continue our journey together. And write in the comments, which of these 5 lessons will you start applying today? If you don't want to miss simple, powerful advice designed to make your life better after 50, join our community. Hit that subscribe button now. Give this video a thumbs up, it really helps. And please use the comments below. Which of James's 5 lessons will you start applying today? It only takes a second to connect.